we're coming online everywhere, slowly but surely. Let's see. So, yesterday after the stream, um, I was playing and got beat pretty good or bad, whichever way you look at it, by a deck built around the World Tree. And I mean, we knew it was going to be a thing. I think I expected it to be built a little differently. Um, and so I also I just hadn't seen it yet. And so when it happened, I was a little stunned, but I was stunned in a good way because I was like, that's cool. It's the first time I've seen it and I haven't seen an overabundance of it. Let me try it. Well, then I build it and then I get stuck playing against either that or some form of ramp similar that's also trying to use the World Tree, or a better, like I said, so better versions, or decks that are designed to beat it. So I would come up against something with Ashiok where you can't search your library, so then the World Tree does nothing. So yeah, it was really, really frustrating. Now, granted, I was doing what I typically do, which is I'm testing on the ladder, which means I'm kind of asking for some hate there, because I'm not taking, especially a mythic, I'm not taking a tuned deck, if you will. So it was far from tuned at the time. It is much more closer to tuned now. Now, and I will say, the upside there is part of it's because I played so many mirror matches that I finally got to see some decks doing some things that I did kind of borrow some ideas. So there was an upside there. But, I don't know, it just goes to show, I felt like, that sometimes you don't have to play the best deck, but you do have to consider that the deck you play will determine what you play against, for sure. I never saw anything like goblins or rogues or anything like that. It was always something with similar builds. Okay, but now you've got to see this, because if you haven't seen this, you're missing out. It's pretty neat. It's pretty cool. If it works. If it doesn't work, then it's pretty rough. And it is, okay, here's the thing. It was far more consistent than I thought it would be. As far as getting to do what it wanted to do, the problem was it needed to do it at a decent pace, because there were several games that I was like one turn away. And then it always seemed like something had an end. Somebody played Fall of Thran. I'm getting stuck with who plays land destruction anyway? And then, sure enough, they're going to play it against my World Tree deck. It would be like, playing land destruction versus my Gates deck. Like, there's only so many out there, and yet that's what you got to be paired up with. It's so frustrating. Oh, horrible draw, though. Okay, this will work. And we'll pull that out. Okay, so if you aren't familiar with the World Tree, you have to activate it takes double Wooburg. So 2 of each, 10 mana. It's a little crazy town. But, we're trying to do some things ramp. We're trying to set up some other ways to get there quickly. Is this mono red? Okay, so as soon as I go through my speech about matchups, I never saw, I don't think, a single mono red matchup yesterday. And now this morning that I'm streaming, of course I'm going to get a mono red matchup. I don't think we stand a chance against the mono red. I mean, our best shot is hopefully they load up and we ritual sit. Actually, I take that back. I did see one mono red because that is what I did. And I actually had an opponent scoop as soon as I did it, which I thought was strange. I thought it was too early to scoop. But so I take that back. I did see one yesterday. But it wasn't common. Lots of similar matchups yesterday. Okay, prowess. And what is this? Sarkin Planeswalker. Huh. Okay, guess we're going to see something different. Alright, I'm actually going to go another turn. I know it's pretty risky. I'm going to go another turn before I ritual sit, because I think we'll get more bang for our buck. Let's draw a card this time. I mean, we know we've got 4 life here. And then I think we're going to get a pretty good wipe there. Okay. I actually would have liked to be able to take out even more, but that's okay. Yeah, we'll take 2 of those. But yeah, the downside is I was really hoping they could have played more. That's still... Oh. I meant to do this first. That's alright, we'll wait. Let's just wait. Let's keep that land on top. And then we'll hold our Reclaim the Wastes. Let's go here. I might even wait and kick it next turn. Let's do that. Let's wait and kick it. Okay, so this bothers me though. I think they're going to make one big turn with haste or something, and we're not really going to stand a chance. That little bit of life gain I don't think was enough. I need creatures. I need more life gain, which I have a little bit of other life gain in the deck, but not exactly where I want to be at the moment. Alright, let's go ahead and do this. Am I missing any colors? No. Okay. This is actually not where I want to be. I'll keep that because it gives me a creature. I just don't think I'm going to survive. 7 damage is nothing for mono red. Nothing at all. Oh, they are stuck somehow though. And I don't know what it is. Okay, a blocker's not bad. Either stuck or just... Oh, I can't gain life though. That's probably what it is. Knowing that I can't gain life, they're just not worried. Yeah, I don't want to pay life right now. Oh. Okay. I usually don't get this stuck on mana. Yeah, 2's going to turn into 4. Oh, it comes in tapped. That stinks, because we're close. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, it's over. I usually get more creatures out and whatnot, so that was a little frustrating. And I do have some removal spells coming, but wow. Yeah, that won't do me any good. All right. Well, that was a bummer of a match. It didn't. That didn't show what this deck can do. Even in its current build. I was satisfied, though. Alright. Waiting for the server. Okay. We actually didn't do bad with our quest, though, so that's an upside. So, Golos, Tireless Pilgrim, is usually a real workhorse in the deck. I've got a couple other things that enchantments and a couple of creatures that actually help double or even triple our mana production. So yeah, again, that really wasn't a good representation, that last one. Alright, so this is actually a good hand. See, here we go. Golos and Nakia of the Old Ways. There's a couple of those that will really help. And I'm actually going to go ahead, rather than kick this, and make sure we've got some land coming in early. We're going to need a red for Nakia at some point, so let's just go ahead and get it. Okay. If this is mono red again, this is one of those decks I almost want to scoop when I see mono red, because the deck itself is just not really designed for it. Doesn't handle it well. I mean, every deck is going to have a bad matchup. Aggro is definitely does give me a big creature on the field. I think I'll keep it. Oh, it's going to be dragons, though, so they're going to be in the air. Yeah, this is an even worse matchup, I think, than typical mono-red. They're going to be too big to really be affected by Ritual of Soot. And yeah. Yeah, this is going to be such a bad matchup. They're going to be flying, big, flying, so many things I'm not going to be able to handle, I think. I don't even remember what I needed the blue for. Okay, so let's go get... Oh, the upside is with Nakia of the Old Ways. Shoot. It may just be a matter of how many turns can I survive here. That would give me extra life, but I think I'm going to go ahead and pass on that. Okay, only 3 mana is not bad. Nakia the Old Ways doubles everything, which pretty much puts me in position to probably got to cast it and then make it the next turn. So I've got to survive 2 turns, and then I think we can pull this off. I have an enchantment that gives all of my creatures trample, and I don't know if I'm going to have time to cast it before it's over. Okay, so we need to go here, and she needs to stick. And then next turn we should be good to actually pull this off. Okay. If Nakia stays, we should be able to pull off the World Tree. Of course, we also have to survive. Which, as good as this deck is, I don't think it's going to kill us in 1 turn. And here we go. This is the moment we've all been waiting for. So again, the downside is I don't have my creature that gives my enchantment that gives trample, but it won't matter because they don't have what, one creature on the battlefield? They can't block all this. And they do get haste. So we just attack. I just clicked. There we go. Okay, resolve. That's a lot of Sarkhan triggers. But I think we're okay. I didn't anticipate all that. But we still have so much damage on the board. And another one of those. We can only keep one. We'll keep that one, I guess. And we lose one to that. We don't need to draw a card. Next. Okay, no blockers declared, and we swing in for how much? This is the real fun part when we get to count the damage. Is it going to hit 200? No, 190. And that's what the World Tree can do. And I got stuck trying to pull that off yesterday so much that it really dragged me down. I think I was at, what, 82%, 81% when I left the stream yesterday, something like that. And I just got hooked on this deck after being beat by it. And I don't know, I like my version. I didn't like it at first because I had to keep playing it and keep tuning it. But I kept playing it and kept tuning it, and I'm starting to like it now. Am I going to climb the ladder with it? Probably not. It's probably never going to be consistent, but it does do that. And it's pretty cool. Okay, this is not a keeper. I don't think. Is this the one? I mean, I could go here and scry. But this is still such a risky deck. Because if this doesn't stick on the field, then the scrying doesn't even... Risky hand, I mean. Then the scrying doesn't even help me. I'm doing it anyway. Oh, because it might be entertaining to watch. Okay, so we'll go here. I mean, entertainment at my expense for you, that's what I do. Okay, this and this. Let's see, we've got blue, of course. Okay. Surely they're not sitting on a one. Okay, good. I was about to say, I got stuck with that yesterday. My opponent was down to one. They had. This was late in the game. They tapped every island but one. I was like, surely they don't have a one cost counterspell at this point when I really needed to drop something, and they did. I hate that those exist. One cost counterspells. That's just, it's pretty messed up. Are you just okay? We need green. We need lots of things. I guess they're going to go ahead and remove. No? I feel like it's going to get put back in my hand. I mean, obviously it's going to get put back in my hand, but I felt like they were going to put it back in my hand. Okay, that's interesting, but I won't need it, I'm sure. So let's keep the land, which we will need. And let's attempt to cast this, even though it's probably going to get countered. But we know something's going to get countered. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if this is a good matchup frankly, because I don't like any of my matchups against mono blue with anything. I just have to always assume everything is going to get countered, and I hate playing that way. I mean, the upside here is I don't need a lot of things on the board. And the main thing I need on the board is a land. So maybe we can figure out a way to play around it. See, we can draw out a counter with this. They'll think they're doing something great. Go ahead and counter that. You know you want to. Just gotta hope their hand isn't just crammed full of them. Because at some point, I'm going to need to stick a spell. Alright. I don't like that they're drawing cards, that's for sure. So, do we take the chance here? I think I'm going to, because this is a really... oh, I forgot that adds mana. I kept thinking they only had 2, which was making me hope I might have a chance there. Okay. Well, that stinks, because I really needed that. That was going to be my fetch for the World Tree. Okay. Well, let's go back here. This is a less necessary card. Oh my goodness. I mean, I guess the upside is they're down to 1. I guess I should have waited on that Golos. And they're getting card draw, though. That stinks. No, this one doesn't draw a card each turn. I'm thinking of the other one. This one, they're just putting counters on it. Okay, good. Yeah, they don't have that much card draw. Okay, good. More land. I really need a blocker. Is it going to get counted? Well, come on. It's not that hard of a choice. You either have it or you don't. What? Did they counter? They countered it and created a copy. Great. Wow. Yeah, so this is where you need your little white weenie mono red where you can cast multiple spells in a turn and really just draw out all those counters. All of my stuff cost too much. Just wasn't gonna... just a bad matchup there for sure. You got to be able to cast enough things to draw all those out. I mean, yeah, I drew out the counters, but not in the efficient manner necessary. But I am facing different stuff. Yesterday I could not get the algorithm to let me face anything different. It was just so much of the same thing, and so much mirror type matches. So I ordered a vinyl album online, I don't know, 2-3 weeks ago now. And they were a little behind on getting it shipped out, which is fine. I mean, it's a... it came direct from the band. Like, they ship it personally. So it's not like a big distributor or anything. But then because they waited. And then, I don't know, it was weird. I was trying to track it, and it's, it's just ground U.S. Postal, so it was not express shipping in any form or fashion. But it was like going from weird, like I would go from Illinois and then go west to Des Moines, Iowa or somewhere, and then it would ship south, but it would ship past me in Oklahoma down to Texas to Dallas, and I guess at some point it's going to make its way back up. But here's the thing, it's sitting in Dallas now with all this snow, so it might not leave Dallas for who knows when. Let's see, I'm going to actually go get planes for that. That might have actually helped me. Let's see. So, are we playing against land destruction again? Because I do not need that in my life right now. That will not be good. Okay, maybe if we go here, we can slow our opponent down a little bit. So there are a few cards that are in here because they fit the god description for the world tree, and then they also have some other benefits, this being one of them. What was that? Destroyed my swamp? I guess I'll just go get another swamp. Oh, that kind of stinks. Okay. Let's go another swamp. And just in case Nakia comes up, let's have a mountain ready. So if our opponent's going to play this much land destruction, I don't want to put the world tree out too soon. So I'm going to hold off on Golos for now. But I think what I do want to do is get something on the field that's going to feel like a threat to keep our opponent focused on the field and not my land. Kind of like my land. Alright, what are they up to? What are they up to? Looking at my land again. Casualties. Okay. Let's go green. We'll go here. Hopefully they don't have another casualties. Star of Extinction. Gee whiz. Yeah, we'll take it. Okay, let's go here. Okay. And they're playing the World Tree, of course. See, this is the kind of thing that I would have been stuck with yesterday. Just all day long playing against other World Tree decks. But I will say, it's the first time I've seen one where they attempt to destroy the opponent's land. My guess is they probably got stuck doing the same thing, seeing the same decks over and over. And they probably figured, well, the only way to beat mirror matches is to blow up the opponent's land. Is that the case? I don't know. It does feel like it. Who is in here? Jody C. I'm trying to read your username, and my other screen is way over there. Sorry. Well, hello. Thanks for jumping into chat. It's always great to have somebody in the chat. It feels like there's actually a stream going on when there's somebody in the chat. Otherwise, I feel like it's just me all alone. Joe, nice. Just Joe. Yeah. I think I should concede. This is not fun anymore. Oh man, I'm doing great, but this, I don't know, attempt at World Tree is killing me, and I can't stop playing it though. Okay, here's the thing. For some reason, it reminds me of Gates, where the big payoff is something out of the ordinary. Like Maze's End is the big payoff. Here it's the World Tree. The difference is I don't think anybody's playing Maze's End right now, and so if I went and got my Gates deck, I don't think there is a possibility of a mirror match. But right now, with the World Tree, I just keep facing either similar decks or decks that are just bad matchups for me. So that's where I'm at right now. Trying not to be overly salty. Let's see. I think I'll keep this and go blue with the Fable Passage. So I've got an early game play there, and these are going to be rough. They're just going to be rough. Pretty new, awesome. I like getting new players in here. Actually, to be honest, I feel like I sometimes get more new players than not. And I do enjoy talking about kind of the basics and stuff. So shoot some questions, especially right now. There's nobody else in the chat. All right. So let's see. So we'll go 2 here. Okay, are we playing mono black or some kind of Esper? Ooh, it could be mono black. So the downside to mono black is they'll be taking out our creatures, but we're not really worried about that too much. I think this could be a good matchup. Oh, this is one of my spells that's going to really double my mana. Okay. What kind of deck are we running? So right now this is... it's all 5 colors. It is... do I want to keep that? I really need land. Let's get rid of that. Okay. So it's all 5 colors, and it's based around this card called the World Tree. Yeah. It's... So the only way for me to make it efficient is to run things that search for land. And so I've got several cards in here that will search for land. And I have Golos the Tireless Pilgrim, which will allow me to search for a specific land because it doesn't specify basic. And then I can go get the World Tree. If I can get to it, which this is starting to be a little rough, I need to be able to cast Ritual of Soot, and so I've got to find... I've got to find another swamp. And that's not going to cut it. Okay. If I can clear the board, we'll be good. Shoot, I guess we'll have to leave that as a blocker. Okay, so this will clear the board. This will keep me in the game. And then maybe I can get to the World Tree. Oh, that will also clear the board next turn. Or not next turn, but the next time I get a land. So we'll scry. And... oh, there's the World Tree right there. Okay, so... we'll just... so usually I have to search for it. It's rare that I only have 1 copy. But the deck, in my opinion, only needs 1 copy. Because I can search for it, and I can usually search for it fairly consistently. So, what kind of colors do you think is the best for new players? Okay, so It kind of depends on the meta and depends on what you're playing. So in Arena, I'm assuming you're playing Standard, which this is Historic. I always play Historic. I've been playing so long that I've got enough cards that I prefer Historic. Okay, so in Standard, it depends on the meta, and right now, okay, well, actually, let's start with the basic. I don't think there's ever been a meta where you couldn't get away with running mono red. You're going to get a fairly decent win rate with mono red in almost any meta, so it doesn't even matter. Oh, it's going to come in tapped. I forgot that. So we still have to buy another turn, which I think we're okay. Actually, I think mono white is pretty good right now as well. So either of those two are pretty good options, I think, for a new player. Oh, okay. Yeah, we've got to clear the board. Yeah, and so the other thing about being aggressive is it is a nice strategy to start out as a new player as well, because there's so much complex interactions in this game that it is kind of nice to start off minimizing those. And aggressive decks like mono red do help minimize the complex interactions. Now, it doesn't mean that there aren't complex interactions with mono red, because you do have to make some choices. And anytime you got to make choices, you know, you got to consider that. But okay, so I kind of hate that I had to use that to destroy the creatures and not the enchantment, because now all they've got to do is play Veto, and they have an infinite combo that's going to kill me. And I'm still at least 2 turns away from pulling off my trick. Because I need this on the board with the World Tree. The catch is, do I want to go ahead and clean the board up? I'll wait another turn, I guess. Oh wait, with this, okay. So, I don't know. I can't pronounce this. Miri's. We'll go with Miri. It's not even right. I know. Miri's Wake basically doubles my mana output. So I forgot about that, so I can still clean the board, which I think I will. Yeah. Okay, so we cleaned the board. We still have to hope they didn't draw Veto for the infinite win combo here. And they didn't, I don't think. Oh, they would have played it there. Okay, so if you're not familiar, there's a card that whenever your opponent loses life, you gain life. And with this one, whenever... No, okay, this is the one. Whenever your opponent loses life, you gain life. Veto is a creature that whenever you gain life, your opponent loses life. So it's the opposite, and it becomes an infinite loop. And you die. So I don't want that. But what I do want is this. This is my trick. So we're sacrificing the World Tree to find any number of God cards and put them on the battlefield. Now I have, where is it? Here we go. Porphyros gives them all haste. And I have an enchantment that gives them trample, but it's not on the field, and it doesn't matter because they don't have any creatures out. So we're golden. Well, they got one creature, but it won't be enough. It's still not especially consistent yet, but it's working a lot more than it was yesterday. And now we attack and we win. Sure. Resolve. Next. They'll declare blockers. Yeah, and this is from just playing a long time. I don't pay. Like I play free to play. The first year I played Arena, I think I spent in the neighborhood of $20 to $40 on the game that year. That was how many years have it been out now? It's been out a few years. So it's been, I'd say it's been at least a year. Yeah. It's been at least a year since I've spent a dime on the game. So my point in saying that is, yeah, there's a lot of legendaries and mythics and all kinds of cool stuff there, but I accumulated that through playing a long time. I don't spend a ton of wild cards, or not. I don't spend money on wild cards. Okay, so all right, you're new, so let's think about it something different here. Something that might be more feasible to play. Oh, mono black's not too bad, but it's still not quite beginner. Okay, I actually think I might like mono white a little bit better than mono red. Let's see, I haven't looked at this one in a while. Now, granted, it's got, some rares and mythics as well. I actually, in the past, have done streams or even YouTube videos on building budget decks for Arena. Mainly just keeping down the amount of rare and mythics, because those are the hardest wild cards to get. I don't know if I have any of those decks currently built at the moment, but I have built those before. Usually mono red is easiest. Actually, Is It Flyers is a good one. Okay, after this I'll play Is It Flyers. Is It would be red and blue if you're not familiar. Those come from the guilds, the color combinations. Spectre. I feel like I've played this opponent before. I have noticed when you get to the mythic ranks, it is a little easier to recognize repeat opponents. This is not good. Especially in this deck where I know I've got lots of lower cost stuff. So we'll mulligan here. Okay, this is more like it. 1, 1, 1, 3. Okay, we'll keep this. And I think we'll hold off on that. Okay, so this can be a budget build. This particular one is a little less budget friendly because I've got 4 copies of Heliod, which is a mythic. But yeah, it is high. So once I got here, I've actually fallen quite a bit within the mythic rank. I'm not actually an ultra competitive player. I really just try to play for fun. But I've been playing long enough. I mean, I know what I'm doing, so I can make the mythic rank. Okay, we'll go here. But yeah, I'm not ultra competitive. Okay, let's go and put a 1/1 counter on each of these. Okay, so we're going to see some control stuff soon. Likely counter spells, but also maybe putting some things. Oh, there's white. Oh, so we're probably going to see some of that coming. Let's go here. Okay, they've only got 1 mana, which doesn't mean they can't play a counter spell, but there's probably a decent chance they won't. So that being said, I don't know, I still think I'll wait. Those both have lifelink. I don't think I even need to cast anything or do anything this turn. Oh, but we've finally gotten enough to trigger. We can activate Speaker of Heavens now. Okay, so when we activate Speaker of Heavens, it creates a 4/4 angel. Of course, you got to have 7 more life than you started with to do that. Do I want to go with that? No. Okay, so because I'm at 30 life, if my opponent doesn't do anything that makes me want to cast something like Unbreakable Formation, by the end of the turn, I think I'm going to draw a card and sacrifice the fountain. Yeah, let's do that. Oh, interesting. I guess they couldn't do anything with what was on the board. I think they just got off to a bad start. But mono white tends to get off to a fast start, much like mono red. Okay, but if you don't want to just play something super basic like mono white and mono red, yeah, I think they did have a bad hand. I like Izzet Flyers. I'll play that here in a second. Kaldheim. Pack. I like packs. Of course, everybody likes packs. Oh, I think this might be my first copy of Helvar. Yeah, well, and that's the thing about mono white. It can pick up steam that fast. And do that consistently. That deck is very consistent. Okay, I think this actually needs to go directly into one of my other decks. Okay, I'm going to go put that in real quick. And then I might even play that deck soon too. Which one is it? I haven't played it in a while. But it'd be this one. Do I have? Yeah, I don't think I have a Helvar yet. Okay, I'll come back and play that later. And let's go. I don't think I got rid of it, did I? Oh, here we go. Okay, so this is blue and red. I guess I'll open up. Blue and red Flyers. This is pretty budget friendly. Okay, so we're going to have some low cost spells early to activate the 1/1 counters on Sprite Dragon or Dorat. Winged Words is this cheap card draw. Flame Sweep. And although I could probably change that out for something different now, maybe. No, I know why I wanted that in here because it's creatures without flying. Okay, Enigma Drake, uncommon. Crackling Drake, uncommon. I did throw in a Shark Typhoon at rare. 2 Niv Mizzets at rare, which again those can be swapped out for other things pretty easily. And I did throw in a Mythic as Magic Mirror, but this was pretty much a budget build. Now the land. There is some rare lands, but again, you can kind of do what you need as far as your land base. But I think this is a good, fun beginner player deck that is, not mono red or mono white. So I like variety, and I like to play different things. So I'll have a favorite deck for a little while. And then I'll just change up. I'll have another favorite. I always have liked Gates. So that one kind of comes back and forth. Currently, I really just like it for Mace's End. It's an alternate win con. Okay, this is not a great opening hand because I don't have a creature, but with the ops, I can probably find one pretty quick. So we'll play this. Yeah, see how this person's at 93%? The way Mythic level works is completely different from all the other levels. When you reach Mythic, you're trying to get first to 100%, and then once you get there, you get into numbered ranks. And so I think, if I'm not mistaken, you're trying to get to the top 1,200 is when they start doing numbered ranks and stop doing percentage. I think it's pretty close to that. Yeah, I really enjoy the deck building part of this game, Magic the Gathering. I've always thought that's one of the more enjoyable parts to me. Okay, let's get rid of that. And so the other cool thing about this deck is with the Enigma Drake and Crackling Drake, they benefit from having cards in our graveyard. So we'll go with that. Okay. We do need to draw some cards. I don't have any creatures yet, which is a little strange. I don't know. I played a lot of my Angels, black and white Angels, finally. I used to only build mono white because Arena just didn't have good support for otherwise. Oh, this is fine, but I think I'm going to go with... Let's just go ahead and draw cards. There we go. Okay, so next turn we can play an Enigma Drake. So black and white Angels actually got me through Diamond and into Mythic this season. It was really, really fun. But I played it so much that I kind of gave up because I like variety so much. Yeah. Definitely time consuming. I spend probably too much time on this game. Okay, so I got the Enigma Drake last time, and I was pretty excited, but Dorat here has haste and gets built up pretty quick as well. So let's go there. Actually, we'll go with both of them because I was thinking about building him up this turn, but I actually think I've got a better chance of getting rid of some stuff next turn. We can get rid of quite a bit. Let's go there. Yeah, I actually don't spend as much time as I used to on my paper cards right now because there's not as many people to play with. So, spending a lot of time on Arena building decks. Okay. So let's go here. Yeah, no, I don't usually mind taking damage. That is true. Okay. And then, is this one... Okay, so we can get our Drake back if we kill that. And I think we might better wait and block because we have taken a fair amount of damage, so we'll wait and block. Yeah, and you kind of have to like read your own deck and see when it's better to be aggressive versus patient. I tend to be patient as far as letting attacks come through. Yeah, see, we don't have a choice here. The frustrating thing is this deck in particular prefers to win in the early games, which is why not having creatures early on was a bit frustrating. Because once it gets late like this, it is much more difficult for this deck to do what it wants to do. Unless we draw out the right cards, which we might. Oh, that's so frustrating. I could really use Niv Mizzet, I think. Yeah, see, I'm going to go ahead and let this through because I want to get this big enough to block. Okay, so if I go with Dorat, I have another creature, but it doesn't make this any bigger. I actually think I'm going to drop this one and hope I get a good draw here. Now, if I draw land, it's over. It's a risk. Okay, we got one land. So we'll drop it. It's still a risk. Oh, okay. So now we've got to survive a turn, and then we get Crackling Drake, which gives us another blocker. See, I think they're just going to go too wide, and we're not going to be able to create enough blockers. Yeah, this deck really wants to win in the early game, and just didn't have the early creatures. Yeah, once they start getting stuff that big and they're going wide. Oh yeah, see, and I can't block them both, so we're dead on the board anyway. So let's run this one again, though. It's still fun. It's a lot more fun when you have an opening hand Dorat to start off with. Not having that's a little wonky. Because I think it was, what, 4 turns in before I finally got a creature? And that's not typically how this deck wants to play. Let's see. I'm trying to think of what else I might have that would be worth playing for somebody who's new. Like I said, this one, because it does have a semi-simple strategy, it's still somewhat aggressive. But it's just, like I said, it's just not mono red or mono white. It's something different. But is Arena bugging out on me? I don't know. I think it might be bugging out. I'll just have to go. Oh, mono green. Or Gruul, which would be red green, is pretty aggressive and fun. And actually, so I like to build decks that are not necessarily part of the current meta. So Gruul is part of the current meta, but I've built mine around Trample, which makes it a little bit different. I just like something different. Although I think I'm going to have to restart. I think, because it usually never takes this long. I think it's bugging out. Well, it actually is going back to the screen. That's good. Sometimes it freezes up and I go to hit cancel and it won't go anywhere. Let's just try again. But yeah, usually it finds a match within a minute. Maybe the algorithm doesn't like my Izzet flyers. There we go. Now that's more like it. I have noticed this morning that I've been playing people all over the percentage, whereas usually it's a little bit closer. Okay, so there's a Dorat early. Okay, I think we might get to see what this deck really wants to do. What is this? This is going to come in tapped. So whenever I've got a land that's going to come in tapped and I don't have or need a turn 1 play, I want to play that turn 1. Because on turn 2, it'll be untapped and I'll be playing this. Okay, and I think this might be a good matchup too, because they look like they're playing a little bit slower. So I think they're playing for the late game. So we might be in a good matchup. That's a cool looking pathway. Oh, this is probably not Aether Flux, Paradox Engine. Okay, let's get a land. I'm actually going to hold off on that. Let's go here. I want to put a counter on. And then go here. I think we really want to be aggressive this game. I think my opponent is going to be playing a lot of control and play for the late game. And so I think the faster we win, the better. I think they're going to try to build a pretty big board soon. Yeah. Okay, we'll get this back out. So we're probably not going to see any creatures for a while. This deck is not going to be playing any creatures anytime soon. Oh, there's so much to read on that one. Damage to you or permanent you control, prevent one of that damage. I guess that's the important part right now. Alright. To the face. Well, it prevented both of it. How did it do that? Whenever you or another opponent SD control becomes a target of a spell or ability an opponent controls, counter that spell or ability unless your opponent pays 1. Wow, there's so much going on that card. Yeah, let's go ahead and get Crackling Drake out because it will be, I think, helpful. Okay, so if they have another board wipe, which they probably do, we're in a real pickle. We probably have lost the game if they have another board wipe. Okay, not yet. Okay, this is good. So we've bought another turn. Oh, World Tree. That's funny. I guess that is more popular than I thought. Okay, so this will get us to 8. Oh, I needed some of my low cost stuff there. None of my 1 cost. I needed one more spell to have lethal damage. And I don't think we're going to be able to win now. I really think it was all going to be... Oh, that's right, but this prevented it. I needed a little bit more than 1 more, I guess. I think this is about where this deck starts to go off. Oh, they didn't have what they needed. If they would have had what they needed, they were going to win, I think. I think they just didn't have it. Because late, that many turns, that late, and we couldn't quite finish them off when I wanted to. I think they were getting really close. But they couldn't buy themselves the 1 more turn they needed. Okay. So the other downside is I don't know what's good in standard because I don't play standard. But I was thinking of something else. Oh, I'll play my trample. That's one of my. You were asking what some of my favorite decks were anyway. I actually use. I don't know if you've noticed in. You can actually select decks as your favorite. These starred ones. So these actually are some of my favorites. I would say Gruul is another fun beginner combo, red and green. Like I said, this one is based around trample, so it does some things a little bit different. But yeah, there was a glitch for a while with that when you would select favorite. it only lets you have so many, but now I think they fixed it. You can select as many as you want as your favorites. Okay, are we gonna be? See, this is. Oh, I get so frustrated at this. We're gonna end up maybe not a mirror match, but probably something similar. Nope, it's going to be pretty much a mirror match, it looks like. Oh, no, there's blue, so maybe it won't be. Maybe this is... I don't know what we're playing against now. Alright, I don't have a good turn to play, so this is where I'll play... I think I'm going to pass on that. I don't really know what's coming. Okay, this... We'll give everything haste. I think I'll play that next turn. Okay, so what is coming? Okay, they're searching for land. They're ramping into something big. I wonder what... Red? More red? Interesting. What are we going to see big and red? And green and blue? I don't know. Huh. Okay, so we'll go here and here for now. So that was kind of a almost a do nothing turn because we spent all of our mana for a card that's going to sit over here, but giving everything haste I think is going to come in handy later. Okay, gosh, they are still ramping. World Tree. Everybody's playing it now. This isn't even... I don't even have it in this deck anymore. Okay. Let's go here and here. So this one already had haste, so that's not as big a deal. But, again, I think it's going to come in handy later. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7... They're only 3 land away from being able to trigger the World Tree. Each upkeep create a blue 3/3 blue serpent creature token. Okay. That's each upkeep. Wow. Okay, so we'll go haste. Can't be counter protection from blue haste. Okay. What do they have something they can play? What are they waiting on? Okay. So let's see if we can bait them in. Since we have the lava coil, we'll see if we can bait them in to block. Okay, good. Now we can get rid of that thing. Maybe, if they'll go ahead and block. Oh, what's the holdup? There we go. Oh, I forgot I can still activate this. And trample. Okay, so we did have to lose a creature, but oh, when I activated it, used my I can't believe I did that. That was a misplay. Okay, so what I didn't realize it wasn't taking. So this cost me 1. I didn't realize it wasn't taking it from here. It took it from here, and I needed that to cast the lava coil. That's frustrating. That is the downside to always using autopay. I always use autopay. It fits because I'm always playing so fast. I should have tapped the elf. Oh, that's frustrating. So frustrating. Fine. Alright, let's go here and get rid of that. Unless our opponent has a counterspell. Surely not. Surely they don't have the one thing they would need. Okay. Alright, even though there's not an enchantment or artifact to destroy, I'm going to go ahead and use the Gem Razor's Mutate to get something bigger on the board. I can't believe I had this thing dead. And I didn't pay attention to which land was being tapped. That might have cost the game. Like, that may have cost the whole game right there. Missing which land was being tapped. I really think we'd have had a pretty good shot had we not missed that. Now I don't see how we win it. Because I don't have any board wipes in this deck. I mean, the best thing might be Storm's Wrath, which is a red card that deals 4 damage to everything. But red and green don't typically do board wipes well anyway. And see, I just drew a land. We're done. I mean, I can block 2 things next turn, but if our opponent swings everything, it's just too much. I can block the 2 big ones, and then there's what, 3 and 6, 12. There's 15 damage I'd have to take next turn. Too much. And I mean, there's no guarantee I would have won, but I really think it came down to that one play, not being able to get rid of that serpent. I should have auto tapped that elf to make sure I got the land from there. Okay, black or green, I need to go ahead and finish up my quest. So let's see what... I actually have black and green, don't I? I have elves. And actually, I think now you could probably pull off it. So before Kaldheim, elves was almost exclusive to historic because there just wasn't enough stuff in standard to build a good elf deck. And now with Kaldheim, I think you can build a pretty darn good elf deck in standard. It will definitely look different from this because this obviously is historic, but yeah, I'll keep this and just hope that I find some black mana. But I've got 2 elves that are going to ramp me into more stuff, so. Ooh, I got a discard out the gate. Let's go there. Okay, this is good because we could go a turn to Steel Leaf Champion. So good. Now they're playing what looks like mono black, so they've probably got some removal for that. My guess is it's going to be dead this turn. Oh no, a discard again. Interesting. Let's go with these. Oh, let's get Marwyn out. So this might be a discard-based deck, which in general I don't think are especially strong because they spend so much of their resources focused on your hand, and they typically don't spend enough resources focused on the board. Oh, they had another Murderous Ratter. Those are good cards. Okay, we'll go here. Okay, they've got to wipe the board this turn, I think. Oh, they will gain life with that block, but I don't think it'll be enough. I don't think they're going to gain enough life. So they'll gain 2, which puts them at 6, and we'll deal them 6 damage. And 0. Okay, I'm wondering if I could pull off a standard elf deck. I don't know. I think it can be done pretty well. Nice, we finished that. It's an okay card. Alright, what time is it? It's getting close to 8 o'clock Central, which is pretty close to when I usually wrap up for the morning, so about 10 more minutes. Play a couple more games. Have you got anything you'd like to see? Otherwise, I don't know what I want to play next. Oh, equipment. I'll run this, and then if you have anything you want to see, I might play something more of a request after this. Let's see, Maximus. CAGP? I don't know what that's all about. Okay, this is good, but is it good enough? I think I'll try it. I prefer to have some red in my opening mana base, but we'll give it a go. White. Looks like probably mono white, maybe tokens. Okay, let's go here. So while I did have something I could cast, I'm okay waiting on it. Because I do have cards that can equip that early, so I like having it out early. Ooh, Runaway Steamkin. Interesting. So we're going to see... Okay. This is an instant, so we can play it next turn. Let's do that. We'll surprise them with it. Yep, we'll be attacking with a 12, 14, 15, something really big next turn. That's all we need to know. Now if I could only give it trample. Oh, I can give it flying. Oh, that's going to be wicked. Yeah, let's block with it too. It's okay to scoop here if you want. Okay. We'll pay the 2 life. We'll go here. And here. And I don't think our opponent can handle that. Maybe. They could exile it with those. Yeah, they could exile it. Or they might be sitting on a Settle the Wreckage, which would be not good either. I mean, this kind of either works or it doesn't. If they take this away, it probably just... I mean, that's kind of... We're kind of done at that point. So... I don't know. I think they figured that too. You've either got what it takes to kill this or you don't. Well, we're getting our percentage back. That didn't take long either. That was a fast game. Alright, what to play now? We got another... I don't know, I'll play... What do I want to play my last game with? Because I think I'll make this last. Do I have anything else that might go quick but still be fun? Let's try... I haven't played this in a while. Also, Is It, but based around the cards that give you benefits for drawing a second card. And I think also stuff that just gives you benefit for drawing cards in general. Yeah, we'll go here. So Improbable Alliance will give us fairies for drawing a second card. Be a good place to start. Ooh, red. Hopefully not mono red. Okay, we'll keep the winged words, because once we have a fairy in play, it'll cost less. Oh, Gruul. This will be interesting. I have to try to keep up with it. Maybe if it's... Oh, they have to mulligan. If it's not trample, I think we'll be okay because we can create a lot of blockers with the fairies. The fairies, not Teferis. Okay, we'll go there. Next turn, we can start drawing extra cards, which will start triggering. Creating fairies. Oh, it's not Gruul. Interesting. What is it? Oh, is this that Tybalt's Trickery? Oh my goodness. Okay, will it be any good? Because this deck, most of the time when I've played this deck, it fizzles out. Now the problem is, if it doesn't fizzle out, I don't know if I have good stuff to match up with it. Let's go here. Okay. Interesting. This might be a one time, not the one time, but one of the few times that Tybalt's Trickery doesn't fizzle out. Maybe somebody's finally found an efficient build for it. I don't need that. Okay. Oh, what is this thing doing? At the beginning of each upkeep, reveal cards from the top of your library to reveal a creature card or planeswalker card. Huh. Okay, yeah, I'll pay one. Let's go here. So again, if they don't have trample, I think we can keep up with a big board, but yikes. We'll have plenty of blockers here, and then our flyers can attack. I don't know, this is weird, but it still might work. They don't have much in hand, but this Prismatic Bridge, I might have to get one of these. Other legendary creatures you control have vigilance and tap 1. Oh, wow. Yeah, that Prismatic Bridge is special. Yeah, I might need to craft one of those next time I get a mythic wild card. I don't know if I have one right now. I might. Jeez. I think that's the ball game. I don't think I've got anything to deal with Ugin. Yeah, he's just going to get bigger and destroy my stuff. I've got no way to deal with Ugin. Now, a lot of my decks can deal with Ugin. This one cannot. This one simply can't. Okay, if I have a mythic, do I have a mythic? I might go get me one of those. That's just too cool. Oh, I don't have one right now. That stinks. All right, I'm going to call that good for the morning. I appreciate it. Please go follow the channel. Share with your friends. Let's get some viewers on here. Let's keep this thing going. Yeah, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for chatting. Thanks for watching. Appreciate you guys.